Hey, everybody. So I have both ends of the spectrum. I wrote a poem today,
You guys
early
speak
today.
on.
Stephanie, can you? So I wrote a poem today, literally about missing people, because I could imagine a lot of people are feeling the way of the weight of the pandemic and the lack of community these days. So I wrote one called Missing People, and then I have another poem whose inspiration, who is who that was inspired by a person who is in attendance tonight. Missing People. Simply repeating footsteps around home, day in and day out, on my own island, makes thoughts of just missing people so hum, like the silence at night, which is not grand. Having space to myself is, yes, a gift, but for as long as the standstill storm goes, missing people is making living drift into a foggy haze that could just close. Social interaction is essential, and not just through any computer screen. That's why missing people is such a pill, and this coronapocalypse so mean. In a trek specialized in crowds and chat, missing people makes now's pact seem so weak, or community combines with hope stat to make any shade of gloom much more bleak. Conversation these days is so distant between social distancing with face mask and keyboards with video chatting sent. Yeah, missing people sure calls for filled flasks. Whether it's hydration or shake powder, missing people is just not natural. So know everybody, with healing's cure, life should go on and still be so joyful. My second poem was written about 3 weeks ago, and I want to shout out to Andy, who's a very dear friend of mine who's here from the cruise I got to take last November. So the poem he inspired after an hour conversation is this poem called It's Those Conversations. Day 163 has staked its claim on this soul and society, yet I feel all right and not sorrow bait, thanks to souls with kindness's ability. It's those conversations that go deeper in revelation and fact-seeking hopes that make a difference in times so pure, especially in times on sadness's slopes. There may be a coronapocalypse and weirdos throughout this world so wide, but it's those conversations with tight grips that shed light on us when life has no stride. Whether it's on the phone or on screen during a shelter in place, it all counts. Where it's those conversations so serene that bring rays of hopes within rage spouts. So to all who has breath and gifts of gab, make that call an effort to just go, yep. For solitude is loneliness's cold slap, and chances are that one needs some formed help. In this era of true isolation, and time to process and grieve at times flies, do not forget it's one conversation that it takes to impact another's sky. May the straight lesson of day 163 be as simple as counting 1, 2, 3. It is genuine friendship, and it's those conversations that rescue one with dark gloom who seek Lee. Thank you, Andy.